Hello, I'm Jane from Loopy's Place and I'm coming to you from my studio here in Sheffield. After the event last week, we're back to our normal hints and tips, and this week is one especially for those that are just starting out to sew. I find a lot of my learners struggle with getting a straight line, and they often don't believe me when I say it's just a matter of practice. So what I've done is given them some homework to do to give them the opportunity to try building up that confidence in sewing a straight line. Thought some of you might find that useful too. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so I've just taken some scrap fabric. I've folded it in two just to simulate what we would normally do when we're sewing, and I'm just going to draw some lines on it. So this is a washable marker, but for this it doesn't really matter. And all I'm doing is doing a number of lines just to practice sewing on. This is the first stage of the exercise. But it's a great starting point. So there you go, I've got some lines drawn on there. I'm now going to go to my machine. Okay, so my machine's set up, I'm ready to sew. Got my needle down, and all I'm doing is just stitching on that line. And this light from the machine, that faint blue line, isn't showing up very well. I'm just about to see it. So I'm just going to go down the line. So this exercise, for those that are new, isn't about speed. It's about being able to control the direction of your stitching. So that's the first one. You can check it, see how you're going, and then you're going to start on the other one. So I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So by the time you've done that, probably start picking up your speed because you're gaining in confidence, but you still want to be able to control it. Okay. So that is the first stage. And what I do then is encourage them to get another piece of scrap paper, scrap fabric, draw a line on it. First time you're going to follow that line. I'm going to just stitch down that line. To the end. So that's the first stage, and then what I suggest then is, instead of drawing lines, you're now going to use the edge of your foot against that stitched line as a guide. Now a lot of the patterns that I use with my beginners is to use instead of giving them a measurement for the seam allowance, is to use the edge of your foot as a guide. So by doing this exercise, you're getting to practice sewing a straight line, and then you're practicing keeping that line, simulating the edge of the fabric, you're keeping that straight against the fabric, and then you can just keep doing that. So there's another one. So the particular point that needs to often to be concentrated on is when you're starting and when you're finishing. Notice that a lot of people, when they get to the line, stop directing the fabric or keeping it on a straight line, and you quite often get a kink at the end. So you're wanting to keep a straight line right to the end of your fabric, just to keep those nice straight lines. Well, I hope you found that useful, whether for yourself or to share it with people that are sewing along with you that are struggling with doing their straight lines. I do have a workshop on the website that will help you with this. The Fabric Baskets workshop gives you the opportunity to create little fabric baskets and to do quilting on. I've got versions where you've got no quilting or with the quilting, but here we're using a lot of straight lines, and that certainly gives you the practice, and you'll end up with something that you can use at the end of it. So if practicing on scrap fabric doesn't do it for you, then maybe making something like this would. I'll pop the details in the details below, or send me a message and I can give you a link for that. I do hope you'll find that useful. Pass the information on to anybody that you feel would benefit from that. Do subscribe to my channel, click the bell below to get notifications when new content is uploaded. I'll be back very soon with another tip for you. But in the meantime, do take care.